Hello, it's me here once again, and before we get into the video, be sure to like, comment, favorite, subscribe, click the little bell down below. I'll leave my Twitter down below so you can follow me on there. Today we'll be looking at Fallen Angel, the Uriah Heep album, number 12 in their discography. Released September 78. This album to me is a interesting album because it's very hard to grade. But anyway, it's to me has more of an AOR sound to it, which is a very commercial sound. It's different compared to anything I've ever heard from Heep, and even amongst Heep fans, I think there is the belief that there is a divide in Heep fans on this album, and I kind of posted on Facebook last night, like, what are Heap's thoughts on this album, because I remember going through it, and that's what's really held this up a lot, is the fact that this album for me is kind of hard to get through. But anyway, it's also known as the last album to feature John Lawton and Lee Kerslake, and it's just under 40 minutes as length. But anyway, let's get into the songs. It starts off with Woman of the Night. Nice harmonies and drums at the beginning. I love the riff. I like the vocals on it. I like the tempo changes and the vocal harmonies. I like the guitar solo and the dual guitar sound. And I do like this song. I thought it was a great, strong way to open the album. I know on the US version it starts off with One More Night, The Last Farewell. This one, to me, is the version I got. Worked very well. Song number 2 is Falling in Love. It has a heavy feel to it with drums and organ. I hate the falling in love part, how it is sung over and over again. I love Lawton's actually singing parts, and the song to me just feels like filler. That's really how it feels to me. On to song number 3, One More Night, The Last Farewell. Upbeat rhythm. Hate the 7-Eleven singing style in the opening. To anyone who asks me what 7-Eleven is, it's kind of like you have 7 verses and they're repeated 11 times. It's that type of thing. It's very much in gospel music. You'll hear it a lot at churches and stuff, where it'll be the same thing but sung over and over. And I got that feeling listening to this, and it's something I had a complaint about on the last album, and it feels a lot on this album as well. But I do like Lawton's vocals, and I do like the solo from Mick. On to song number 4, Put Your Lovin' On Me. This is a different feel to it altogether. It sounds more bluesy, more John Lawton than actually anything else. Love the opening with the guitar and drums, booming bass. Very groovy. I like the vocals. I love the guitar solo. On this, Trevor really shines. But however, I hate the ending of the song. And it becomes a big part, and I'll talk about this at the end of the album. Coming Back to Me, I love the intro. It has a soaring feel to it. It's the sole song of the album. Trevor really shines throughout this entire album. I love the vocals and I love the guitar sound throughout the entire album. Song number 6, What Do You Say? Love the intro. Hate how it repeats over and over and over again. I love the bass, nice tempo change, but feels a lot, once again, like filler. On to song number 7, Save It. Heavy riff, which to me is ruined a little bit by that upbeat singing and repeating over and over. Feeling very, almost gospel sounding in a way. Music wasn't just, it doesn't feel natural, is more of what I feel about it. I like the solo and the twin guitar. That's all I have to say about that song. On to song number 8, Love or Nothing. I like the vocals, I like the heavy guitar. That's pretty much it for that song. Song number 9, I'm Alive. I like the heavy intro with the guitar and drums. Love the vocals. Awesome bass. Kerslake drumming is so good throughout this entire album. That's one thing I'll say about the last few albums. I love Lee Kerslake's drumming. On to song number 10, the final song on the album, Fallen Angel. Has nice acoustic. It's kind of ruined by those vocal harmonies, if you get what I mean. And I liked Lawton's vocals. Now, this album, I'm going to say this flat out, whose ever idea, I know it was the 70s. I know it was, and it might have been a musical thing around the time, but the constant repeating, repeating. Just made me want to shut the album off so much. I hated it. It was just dreadful. I know some Heat fans might like that. To me, it was just like, get on with it. And it kind of feels to me a lot like some AC/DC albums felt in the 80s, where you might have had 1 or 2, 3 songs, but you didn't have an album. But they put the 1, 2, 3 songs, throw in a shitload of filler, and that was the album. And this to me sounds a lot like that. I know as a Heat fan, I wanted so badly to like this album, but I just can't. I call it the album that made John Lawton and Lee Kerslake quit Heep. And after listening to it over, and this is what delayed it really, I listened to this album about 7 times. 7. And that's all the good I could really say about it. There's so much I don't like about this album. But I'm not sure if it's the sound, but this is where after this album, Uriah Heep needed a restart. And I think the restart was in the wrong spot. It wasn't the singer that had to go. I think it was the producer. Jerry Braun, by this point, it's so bad that he has to go. Even if Ken Hensley has writer's block, there needs to be something. Because I just listened to it. It's infuriating. But anyway, best song of the albums for me is Woman of the Night and Come Back to Me. Come Back to Me, I love that song. Fantastic to listen to. Worst song off the album is pretty much most of the album, other than a few songs. Hidden Gems is Put Your Loving on Me. I really do like that song. Thought it was pretty damn good. But anyway, what would I give it out of 5? Now, this is hard. Because I did give Wonderworld 2. To me, this is a 1.5 star album out of 5. I said it. I'll go down with that. This is probably, at least to me, listening so far, this is the worst Uriah Heep album I've heard so far. Which is sad because I really want to like this album, but I just can't. I could see if you give it a 2, 2.5, I wouldn't knock you for it. It's just the album right now for me. Not what I was really expecting, or I think what a lot of people wanted, and I think it reflected by the fact John Lawton and Lee Kerslake left after this. But anyway, that's my review. Once again, be sure to like, comment, favorite, subscribe, click the little bell down below. Next album will be Conquest. I'll be putting that up pretty shortly. Peace.